All right, so we are back. I had a couple really weird technical conundrums that I had to go and deal with. Um, just weird audio stuff going on with my computer. So, anyway, no, I want to stream. What we are working on today is we take a gander at the board. Um, Long-term goal is to automate prospect to fulfill. So something that I have realized is these contractors don't care about where these leads come from, as long as they're good, right? So why am I going through all this effort to brand their own qualification funnel when I'm not even getting paid for it and it's not even benefiting me in any way? Um, so instead, what we're going to do is that I'm creating my own platform. So it'll look something like this. It's basically just an Angie's List knockoff. And I'm just going to be doing the same thing that they do, where the whole idea is that you are, where just, it's very, very simple. The whole idea is that you are, okay, I just want to make sure audio is working. I don't know why this keeps turning itself down. The whole idea is very, very basic. It's just we're going to be hosting everything from our own site, and then anybody who fills it out, who is a in our area of choice, we are going to be posting a webhook whenever somebody signs up, so that then they become like part of the site essentially. And there's going to be, as it stands, no way to like compare quotes. It's just going to be, this is the top guy in your area, and here's why, and then you can see all of his Google reviews here. And there's going to be like no other options, basically. So it's just going to be the only option for our client. And I'm not going to allow basically other kinds of like niches in. We're going to be targeting exclusively through Facebook, and it's just going to be through this one site. We're not going to be doing it multiple different ways. And there's a couple big reasons why I want to switch to this. Number one, because we're doing pay per lead and I'm paying for Facebook ads. Like, there is no reason why I should be bothering trying to build these contractors' brands if they're not paying me for it. So if they want to pay me $5,000 a month or whatever to run their ads for them, then that's when we can have their own like special ads. But because we're doing PPL, it's like, dude, you're just paying for the lead. Like, you're not. I don't need to do the typical like agency formula here, which is what was in my head. I need to do like the normal agency thing. So it's going to be a lot less setup because of that. So it's going to streamline the process significantly. Second reason, it's going to streamline the process in terms of ads. I'm going to be able to very easily create, test, and iterate new ad campaigns. And which will be better because I am able to go in and use the bot that we created to really test on my own. And I'm not reliant on our system for it. So something I'm going to check again is just making sure that our leads for the day have been pushed through to cold SMS. Okay. Yep. We do have leads that are getting pushed through. I think I need to increase the number of leads we're scraping every single day, because we're only sending 400 text messages, which is enough for like, 2 to 4 meetings, like on average. So yeah, we'll see. I'm thinking about increasing it. I'm also thinking about changing where we scrape leads. I'm thinking about switching to D7 Leads Finder. And the reason why is because I think in the long run it'll be cheaper. Because we're probably spending, like, if we go to, I can't show you guys this stuff because it has my API key. Yeah, we've scraped like 15,000 leads. So for like these number of leads here, I wish Outscraper had a lot more like clear example of how all of this works, because it is incredibly confusing. But it just kind of doesn't. But, whatever. So I'm thinking about switching for that reason, because I think it would be cheaper. And also we can do more. D7 Leads Finder's plan for 120 bucks a month lets you do, what is it? D7 Lead Finder. It lets you do 30,000 daily leads, which is a lot more than what we're doing right now, which is like 2,000, and it's like kind of effectively the same cost. Actually, this is like marginally more expensive. Actually, Outscraper is like noticeably more expensive compared to D7. Yeah, it's so I'm thinking about switching over because of that, because it like will be noticeably cheaper in the long run. I'm even thinking about turning off texts until like Christmas is over. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe while I'm here and while I'm out here thinking about it, I'll ask. I'm thinking about switching over our API scraping from Outscraper to D7 Leads Finder. Check the API docs and see if we can pull all the data that we need. They don't allow enrichment, so we'll have to use some other platform for enrichment. So I think that might be something I'll switch over. I've been thinking about it. Can it? No? Okay. So I'm thinking about it. But I don't know. My fiance just texted me. It's my birthday, so that's why everybody's reaching out, which is nice. Specific DPI endpoints be used to confirm filtering capabilities. Includes a carrier type enrichment service. Should compare enrichment service options for carrier type. For this, we'll obviously need the D7 Leads Finder plan. That's $120 a month. Put together a sheet, Excel sheet style, showing the current daily cost of Outscraper. Which, by the way, I think our Outscraper pricing tool is wrong because I've spent close to $100 for 15,000 total leads since we've started developing this bot. For both enrichment as well. With common phone enrichment option tools. And find the cheapest one that allows up to 30,000 daily leads that we could potentially be doing with D7 Lead Finder. Okay. I am interested. I am interested in trying. Okay, there we go. Cool. Okay. It's weird. Okay. Let's take a look. Scraper. I'm currently using Chrome Inspect Element to compare mobile versus desktop versions. I don't want to constantly have to remove the mobile.html or desktop.html section. Can you set it up so that anytime that our web page gets refreshed, it checks for if it's on mobile or on desktop. Okay. It's a violent pornography, chicks and sodomy, the kind of shit you get on your TV. Would NumVerify be cheaper? Factor in the monthly cost and additional API billing cost. So I know I have like separate things going on. Yeah, that's fine. Joking chicks and sodomy, the kind of shit you get on your TV. God damn it, dude. Hard reload. I mean, it's honestly really weird because sometimes when I load Contracting Finder, like the site, Rich, NumVerify Enterprise, which is, should I contact? So what about the NumVerify Platinum plan? Something interesting to mention is that on my phone, the mobile version actually has stuff going on, but for some reason here, empty cache and hard reload, it just doesn't show anything. But if I go on my phone, yeah, just give me a second. I had to use it on incognito, weirdly enough. But like, look, so on my phone it shows up. And then it says mobile version on the bottom. Compare quotes from top rating painting contractors. So like I don't really know what's going on there with that. But I don't know, it's weird. Let's just use like a painting stock image. Stock image. Oh. Cool. So this is an interesting feature they just added. I can select like section here, and I can say, so I can like drag this in and then drag this part in and say, for both the mobile version and the desktop version, create a section after the find a pro in my area box that looks like the second screenshot, but the image, instead of being the guy fixing the HVAC system, is instead the first image that I sent that is formatted correctly for both versions so it looks right, and with the same disclaimer just rewritten for contractor finder and for specifically looking for a painting contractor. Okay, yeah, cool. Close. Oh, okay. So better and rich. This is what I can see is better and rich's pricing. I don't think it's as low as you're suggesting. Yeah, because 100,000 credits is 2K a month. So I don't really know. So charges 16 credits per phone. So 900,000 requiring 14.4 million credits. Okay, shit. Okay, plus num verify enterprise. Okay. God damn, this is expensive. See if you can find any other carrier type detection APIs. Oh. See if you can find any other kind of carrier detection APIs. Yeah, that's definitely better contact. Pricing. One mobile phone equals. Okay. So I need like. Yeah, that's a lot, my gang. Try better contact. Oh, that's the same site.
The best countries they're already there, and the offer is work qualified businesses they can audit, the more revenue they, not just some dead leads. But to turn this into a freelancer, and that choice alone for agencies, they know what they don't touch on money because I've already proved.
Third-party logistic providers, R&D tax credit recovering firms, and SEO marketing agencies. The fuck? Okay, the first two are kind of interesting, but R&D tax for credit firms. R&D tax for credit. R&D tax for credit. R&D tax for credit, specialized consulting kind of firms that help businesses identify, calculate, and claim federal, state research development credits. Claiming an R&D tax credit. Okay, so, What do exactly? How do they charge? And who do they mainly service? Scraper, current, daily cost, and num verify enterprise. Okay. Verify Twilio lookup API processing. Does Twilio lookup API cost more or less than any of these options? And do you need A to P for it? What if we're just sending the current amount of leads that we do, which is 2,000 a day? Which would be the cheapest option?
At scale. These are the niches that printed millions in pipeline for myself and for my clients. They're not crowded, they're not obvious, but they constantly spit out high-ticket retainers when you plug in the system. Most people overlook them completely, which is why they still work nowadays. So pay close attention, because this is where the real money is hiding. Let's start with one of the biggest hidden gold mines, third-party logistic providers, or 3PLs. These are the companies that handle shipping, warehousing, and fulfillment for e-commerce brands. The global 3PL market is worth over $1 trillion and still growing, and every one of those providers needs new brands to survive. 3PLs live and die by a constant flow of deals. They can't just land one client and coast, because e-commerce is hyper competitive. Contracts shift fast, and brands always look for a better deal. That means 3PLs are always hunting for new brands to serve, and they're willing to pay for anyone who can put those deals in front of them. And fulfillment for these clients is the easy part. A mid-sized e-commerce brand doing 10 million a year in revenue can easily spend $500,000 on shipping alone. If a 3PL cuts just 10% of that, that's $50,000 saved instantly. Bigger brands spending multiple millions, now you're talking six-figure savings. And that's why CFOs take the meeting. Nobody ignores an offer to cut their biggest expense. And here's the kicker. Most 3PLs are terrible at outbound. They rely on referrals or word of mouth. So if you can plug in a working cold email system, you instantly stand out, because you're giving them something their competitors can't. So when you combine constant demand, no-brainer ROI,
I'm interested in starting a business that charges per interested lead for this niche. Do some deep research and figure out what a good price point per lead would be, how much it would cost me to generate that lead with ads, both Facebook and Google, and potentially dive deeper into specific kinds of companies, e.g. mid-ranged companies doing biotech research. That need this service that I can market to specifically, that not many people currently are marketing to. figure out any competitor that exists that is doing marketing for this niche, and figure out to your best ability what they're charging. One, US. Two, any of these. I'm interested in either doing cold email, cold SMS, and or running paid ads, whichever would be the most effective. Figure out which would net the highest benefit. If you can't figure it out, then it doesn't really matter. 3, I plan on selling these leads exclusively. 4, that's for you to figure out. I want to figure out how much it should cost. 5, just give me the names of the competitors and what they're primarily using to both get leads for their clients and then get the clients themselves. Okay.
And weak competition, you get the perfect outbound niche. You can source e-commerce brands directly with tools like Store Leads, find the right 3PLs on Apollo, and connect the dots between the two. The result is meetings that close because both sides need what the other has. And that's why 3PLs are such a powerful play. Constant demand on one side, massive cost savings on the other, and barely any competition doing outbound the right way. It's the kind of niche where you don't have to beg for meetings because math speaks louder than any copy ever could. Now, if 3PLs are about saving brands money, they're already spending. The next niche is about uncovering money they didn't even know they had. I'm talking about R&D, tax credit, and cost recovery firms, businesses that literally find hidden cash in a company's books. Their model is simple. They only get paid if they save you money. That means every meeting matters because the more qualified businesses they can audit, the more revenue they generate. They live and die by volume, and that's why cold email is the perfect growth channel. Here's the math. A company claims back $100,000 in tax credits or cost savings. The firm charges 10% of that as their fee. That's $10,000 collected straight from found money. Nobody says no to the deal because there's literally no risk. If they don't save, the client doesn't pay. Targeting is simple too. Mid-sized to large companies in tech, manufacturing, or even traditional industries are all eligible. You can filter by headcount and revenue on Apollo, and every prospect you pull is a potential jackpot waiting to be unlocked. And that's why this niche works so well. The value prop is irresistible, the ROI is crystal clear, and the offer is essentially risk-free. All you're doing is connecting a firm that recovers money with businesses that want more of it. And that's the beauty of cost recovery. It's a pure numbers game. More meetings means more hidden money uncovered, and clients never argue with free cash. But not every winning niche is this behind the scenes. Some of the biggest opportunities are hiding in plain sight. Now for the third and last niche, and it's almost laughable, marketing and SEO agencies. These are the businesses that sell growth for a living, but when it comes to their own pipeline, most of them are dead in the water. Marketing agencies are amazing at fulfillment, running ads, ranking sites, driving leads for their clients, but ask them to do outbound for themselves, total clover kids with no shoes. They're so focused on delivery that their own sales process is broken. And that's why they're constantly looking for someone to step in and fix it. And the economics are insane. An agency client typically pays $3,000 to $10,000 per month, and they stick for 6 to 12 months on average. That means one new client can easily be worth $30,000 to $100,000 in lifetime value. Compare that to a $3,000 retainer for you, and it's not even a question. For the agency owner, the math sells itself. For you, it means one book meeting can flip it to months of predictable revenue. The best part, targeting is effortless. Every city in the world has agencies. You can filter by digital marketing, SEO, or paid media in Apollo and pull a
Hmm. Summarize how this lead generation tool works. Shit's hard, man. You always wish they made it easier, but if they did, you wouldn't be getting paid. It's kind of the reality of it. It's paintingcontractor.jpg in the public directory. All right. Remove this part for both versions and also center the text and reduce the padding between the image and the find a pro in my area box. Also reduce the size of the image and crop it for mobile so that it looks like the example screenshot sent. Whenever I go into the Contractor Finder mobile version on my computer, I can't see any of the data or images or whatever. But I can see it on my phone. Set it up so I can see it on my computer if I intentionally go to the /mobile version. Boom, 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 boom. Bow, 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 now, 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 now. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, using the API, plan out the code change implementations and everything that we'll need to do to switch over to D7 Leads Finder and num verify. Okay, cool. Yeah, can we like center this? What the hell is center? Is it possible to use Apollo like this without paying for it? As in, it's just scraping from the actual page itself and not charging me per scrape or however Apollo does its pricing? If I wanted to send 1,000 emails a day and scrape 1,000 contacts from Apollo, how much would that cost? Yeah, I need like 50,000 credits a month. So it's like $1,000 a month. Redo this and focus more on R&D tax firms, specifically how to get leads for them and competitors in the industry. Yes to both. Make sure our text looks like this on both versions. If we use something that allowed scraping like Google Maps or LinkedIn Sales Navigator, could we get the same kind of data that Apollo has, as in specifically the emails? Our spacing on the mobile version is having a hard time auto-updating to the center depending on the distance and how big the device is. Make sure it auto-updates better. Also, there's this massive unused white space between the hero section and the image. This needs to be significantly reduced. Oh, that's weird. increase the font size here and center our text, and also remove the first line underneath the campaign disclaimer. Make sure all text, buttons, every single element, visual element, is centered and aligned and continuously updates. Or not constantly updates, but updates whenever the dimensions change and is responsive. Okay. Could we use something like this to get data from LinkedIn URLs? So if Apollo costs more like $400 a month for all the data that we need, is there any way to find a cheaper option? So Apollo charges 1 credit per 1 email. Does that change your pricing estimates at all? God, I can't believe how fucking retarded this shit is. It's like, okay, that looks a little better. center this text on both the mobile and desktop version. Cursor has a lot harder time doing this stuff. Like, I just wanted to center, like, one fucking thing. U.S. based R&D tax credit firms. Change the hero title to say, get free quotes on new, comma, affordable home painting. Change this part to say, the fastest way to get a home painting quote. Have this say, get started. Salamanca dick. Salamanca money. Salamanca blood. So for every single chat, anytime you open this up, always make sure to go back to this directory. Can you remember that for every single chat? Where is your readme directory or the cursor notes.md directory? Inside this directory, make sure for the rest of the chat you're inside this directory specifically. Fix this image and text. It should be centered. It should be about the same padding as the quote finder above, and the distance between the image and the box up top for the desktop version is way too big. Okay, I added the file. Should I add anything to it specifically?
Or years of this I don't saying out to someone you're complete you can't lean on reputation, case studies, or referrals. So instead of trying to convince people to take a chance, make it a bigger risk not to. A good offer in today's market follows one simple formula. We help Y get X result in time frame using mechanism without risk. It forces you to define everything that matters, the outcome, who it's for, how fast it happens, how you'll do it, and why it feels safe to try. If your offer can't fill in those blanks, it's not strong enough to sell cold. Because people don't buy apps anymore, they buy outcomes. They don't want marketing services, they want 15 qualified sales calls this month without hiring a full-time SDR. Now, here's what that looks like in practice. If you're running a cold email agency, we help B2B founders book 20 qualified calls in 30 days using AI-powered outbound, or you don't pay. If you're in e-commerce, we help Shopify brands recover 30% more revenue in 30 days using automated email and SMS flows without touching paid ads. And if you're doing content, we help personal brands turn one long-form video into 20 short clips each week using AI editing without needing an internal team. When I first started, my offer was performance-based. Clients only paid once I booked them a qualified sales call. The reason was simple. I didn't have leverage yet, no case studies, no track record. So instead of trying to convince people to trust me, I made the offer do the convincing. If I didn't deliver, they didn't pay, and that instantly lowered resistance and got people to say yes. It worked because it aligned incentives. They wanted results, I wanted proof, and both sides only won if the system worked. But like any good idea, it didn't stay unique for long. Pay-per-result became the new default, and suddenly it stopped standing out as much. So I adapted. Now one of the best offers I run is a free 1-week campaign. We set everything up, run it live, and let the results speak for themselves. Nobody else is doing that right now, as far as I know, and that's why it works so well. But the real lesson here isn't to copy my structure, it's to evolve yours. Offers have to keep changing as the market does. When competition rises, risk reduction becomes your biggest advantage. Keep lowering friction until the only logical response is why not? That's how you keep winning when everyone else is setting the same promise. But even the best offer fails if it's aimed at the wrong people. So next, let's talk about the niche and how picking the right.
Oh, hey, what's up? Uh, um, I'm trying to build out a. Sorry, it's just it's really fun when everything is working and then it just stops. I'm trying to build out a site that for my lead gen agency that basically acts as a Angie's List knockoff. Um, I'm currently pushed into SSH on my shared hosting, and that was working, but now it's just not. So that's nice. You know, I'm always a big fan of that. So, that's nice. I didn't understand anything, but that's great. No, it's all right. Like, can you hear my mic? Is that the problem? It's just immensely frustrating. Oh, you can't hear me? Like my mic? Are you sure? My mic should be on and working. Oh, mic is all right. Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. I run a agency for painting contractors. I do PPL. It's just too fast. Okay, I'll slow down. My bad. I do PPL, so that's pay per lead, and I run Facebook ads for it. I currently run Facebook ads to my clients' pages. I want to stop doing that and instead run them um, to my own website where like the prospect fills in their project details and whatever. They're like, yeah, I want a floor painted or I want this painted. And then that gets sent to my client and it's through my branding, through my thing, instead of through their thing. So it's like Angie's or Thumbtack or Home Advisor compared to like a typical agency retainer model, which is how I'm currently doing it. But I want to switch it out. So that's what I'm currently working on. Uh, yeah, yeah, I stream pretty much every day. You can like I try. I haven't streamed for the last couple days just because I've been gone. Um, but you know, I'm here. I'm trying to grind to a mill. Um, okay, cool. We're back. This isn't really what I want. Um, okay. Okay. There we go. Weird. Keep going. I mean, while I'm in the middle of um, putting together this site, um, I'm also doing some research in the background because I'm currently getting a lot of clients through cold SMS, and I'm doing just research in the background to figure out if it would be cheaper to go a different route with it. Um, Thanks, boss. I appreciate that. And let me know if you have any questions about like business stuff. I like talking about it. Uh, I like going into details about what I'm working on. Okay. Currently, as it stands, whenever I join or connect to the website on my browser, it automatically brings me back to a WordPress version. This is incorrect, and it should be automatically bringing me to the desktop version if I'm on desktop and then mobile, and then also using the other specifications that we've outlined in the other prompts. Okay, contractor finder. Get free quotes on new affordable home pricing. Can I get like the browser as well? This whole thing needs to be shortened and centered. Okay, is it like... Okay, cool. All right. And that was another issue if you guys are ever using Cursor for everything and you're on like a shared hosting plan like me. And you have a bunch of domains. Try your best to stick the .cursor file where you actually want to edit. So, like, just put something in there. What phase are you on? Like start or mid? Yeah, I've made 2K. I have, I think, 6 active clients right now. And all of them currently, I'm running ads through their own thing. Like I have a pretty proven ad structure for clients that like I know does work. Which is the, kind of which is, sort of the main goal. Okay, cool. I don't want to be able to see the desktop.html after the slash. Doesn't matter which version that we're on. Desktop HTML or mobile.html. Okay. Contractor finder. Keep. Let's do a... Okay. Great. It's fucking... Oh my god. It's still so fucking weird. It's actually good having 6 clients. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind they're all on like PPL basis. It's pretty easy to get clients if you say, hey, I'll do everything for free. I have 3 of them that I've like actively like billed for, and then 3 that I've signed on in the last week. So, okay, we're back. Make this image even smaller and decrease the total padding to the box outline itself. Like where the shadow ends on the second screenshot. So yeah, I mean, it's really easy to convince people to give you money if you basically provide like no resistance to it. Like the real part of the sale that I'm realizing more and more as I close more and more people, like it's easy to convince them on the system. The hard part is like getting them to put their credit card down, basically. So you kind of have to like force them verbally, like I did last night. Like a guy was like, "Oh, well, I need to go to dinner," or "Oh, like oh, my kid's doing," and I was like, "Well, this is gonna take like 5 minutes. Let's just get it done really quick." And you just like don't let them leave, and you just make them commit. Because a lot of people are like too scared just to like hang up the phone, and it's like I'm not making them pay anything out of the gate. Or there's also like I had another guy who I talked to yesterday who was all like, "Oh, well, you know, I need to talk to my business partner," and I was like, "Okay, well, let's." And I was like, "Okay, well, let's get him on the phone." Now it's not centered and aligned. Make sure it's centered and aligned, and also have the text have the same padding as the image itself. Um, yeah, I mean it's easy to get people to sign on. Um, if you just do it for free, basically. It's the easy part. Sorry, I'm reading something. So you're a one man? Yeah, it's just me. I'm doing basically everything. Um, I have like a few smaller contractors who work with me. Um, just like off and on, just helping with some small things. Like I have a part-time graphic designer who helps me come up with some graphics for some certain things. Um, yeah. Um, I'm so fucking tired. Okay, it's centered now. Let's get the text centered as well. Um, is it Home Ally? Oh, what was this fucking site called? Uh, yeah, Project Allies. There we go. I like something like this. Um, For the desktop version only, basically remake this site, but keep our hero section the same. And remove the top home improvement projects section. And focus... Actually, no. Keep the top home improvement projects, but frame it more like... top home painting projects, and just have 3 sections side by side. One for full interior repaint, the second for kitchen repaint, and then the third for exterior repaint. And then copy basically the rest of it. Replicate the spacing and use our colors and our branding instead. In the plan, outline the exact sections that you're going to create, the copy that it's going to have, and colors. Okay. I'm also currently building stuff. Like, I learned tech, ML business, currently working on my own projects, you know, indie developers. I also want to make 6 figures. Well, what are you making specifically? Like, are you building, like, I mean, from the way that you're phrasing it, it's, you're making, like, video games. What price ranges should I include? Yeah, I'll provide custom ranges. For the interior, say starting as low as $450 a room. For the kitchen, say starting as low as $1,500 for a kitchen repaint. And then for the exterior, say starting as low as $6,000 for a full exterior repaint. Okay.
One makes everything click. If the offer decides how fast you can convert, the niche decides whether there's anything worth converting in the first place. What if they also have with creating leads first as it or made revenue right now. If you have to convince them that they have a problem, it's not demand, it's education, and outbound doesn't
Oh,
work.
God damn it. Why?
Budget can easily afford your service. If one new client doesn't more than cover your fee, they'll hesitate forever. Access, can you find them easily? If you can't get clean data from Apollo, LinkedIn, or some other scrapers, you don't have a niche, you have a guessing game. And frequency, do they need what you offer consistently, not just once in a while? One of project skill retention, recurring needs, keep the pipeline alive. Now that you know the filter, let me show you 3 niches I've personally had success in and why they actually work in the real world. First off, recruitment and staffing firms. This works because it's one of the few B2B markets where urgency never disappears. Every open role is a countdown clock, and the longer it stays unfilled, the more money their clients lose. That means recruitment companies can't afford slow months. They need a steady flow of businesses hiring right now. And because their fees are usually 15 to 20% of annual salary, one good placement can easily cover the retainer. That's why it's perfect for outbound. The pain is direct.
Rewrite part of the copy and make sure that it's at a 3rd grade reading level, and focus on how we find better, more affordable, and faster painters. In the section comparing quotes, also include completed by the end of your week for every single one of them. Maybe also find some spot in the hero section, maybe underneath the zip button, and say, let's get your project done by whatever 5 days is from the current day that it is. So if it's Friday, have it say done by next Wednesday, or just done by Wednesday. Or if it's Monday, have it say done by Friday, etc.
Look at all three: recruitment, pay-per-click, and SaaS.
Uh,
Each one has.
no, not video games. I'm in SaaS. I'm trying to solve my own problem, creating SaaS developers and create a product. Deciding if there's product market fit. Basically, I'm creating this as I go through the problem. Well, what are you making specifically? Like, what are you building? Because, like, I can tell you if it's a product market fit or not. Depending on, like, what it is. Like, I mean, if you're making something for a guy like me, like an agency owner, like, I'd be down to try it, for free, obviously. But I'll give you some data. Find a pro in my area. Find a paint. Calculated date. Pick a time that works for you. Get started right away. Me, my love. We all go to hell. I'm creating a small distribution system. So, like a CPL. So, like a third-party logistics provider. Or is it like a code thing? So it's like you're able to like iterate, um, and like brunt test like bugs and testing. Like, is that what you're talking about? I mean, I think something like that exists. Um, the idea though of like an easier testing software that's like, okay, we're gonna like take every single chunk of your code and review it individually, and maybe figure out if there's opportunities to split this project for like ease of use. Maybe like a tool like that, like as an extension in like VS Code, could be interesting. I don't know how you would price for that, um, because you would probably have to use like ChatGPT credits, and that would be pretty expensive in the long run. Just to be clear, this plan is only for the desktop version, right? We all go to hell.
That's the sweet spot for up to 1 to 3 system are and receive versus serve. And we also have their email addresses now. They're being added to our CRM. So 100 leads are being added to our CRM. And I can show you the information that we do have. So their first name, full name, their email address, their job title,
Do you think that there's anything that we should add for the user experience based off of this?
Once it's completed for 100 leads, it goes into a loop because we set it to a max of 10 pages. It goes through a loop 10 times until all 1,000 leads are completely enriched and added to our CRM, ready for outreach. So that is the
Home Improvements has something like that. Basically, just copy and paste the same trust verified things. And let's include all of these except the FAQ section because we basically already have that. Yeah, I don't need like a third FAQ section. I hate to see you cry.
Hi, my name is Clarence Harrison, part of the job application API with most agencies don't feel but it means with and the fifth ceiling is the founder.
Could have been. Joined 10,000 homeowners who found painters this month. Average savings $500 per project. Average savings, that's way too low. We want to do like 25 per project. Average savings 25 per project. And heard of that? A good product with great distribution beats a great product with no distribution. I'm just creating a Discord-like community SaaS to solve this. So you're making a Discord like advertiser, so it's like people could pay to at everyone for their SaaS, so it's just like a newsletter with an extra with instead of a like email, it's Discord basically, but for like SaaS companies. I mean, I would just do a newsletter. It's going to be a lot easier to manage than a Discord because you don't have to deal with like moderating. Discord is useful if you're doing like a community thing, but for a newsletter, you're not really doing a community thing. So if you want to do a newsletter model, I actually know people who make good money on newsletters. It's a really underrated business model. I've genuinely thought about moving into it. It's like and 3 weeks of pain. Okay, I like all this. Let's go. Like, if you're just gonna do something like that, I would just do it as a newsletter. Like, I don't think there's a reason why you should do it as a. I mean, I don't really understand how that's also a SaaS, because it's just like a billing, so you're not really solving like a specific issue. Um, so it's like something like this, like the specific issue that I'm solving underlying here is getting leads for painters, right? Um, but also part of it is that like this isn't really a SaaS per se. It is like technology, but like as it stands right now, every single client is custom put in. So it's not like Angie's where you can just like sign up for it and then start getting leads the next day, because it has its own like distribution network. It's as it stands right now, this is all going to be very unscalable. Like once I get this site actually in a version that I like, basically I'm going to hard code every single one of my clients in and then only run Facebook ads for like their specific zip codes. And also part of it is that a lot of the like back end logic, so lead filtering, actually charging the client, texting the client lead details and stuff like that, all that's handled by GHL. So um, actually, that's an interesting question. White label CRM lead software. Resell Jetpack. Lead management. Yeah, not really CRM. It's a lead management. All your business in one place. Okay, studio subscriptions, timesheets, purchase, manufacturing. Okay, there's a lot going on there. White level lead management. Or lose a lead. Retain the value of your leads. What stores leads so you don't have to worry about clients losing track. Okay, yeah, something like this. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. Track all leads. Yeah, white label. Okay. Yeah, plus $50 a month. Is that like per? Put your own branding on dashboards. Okay, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, exactly how well your marketing works. Oh, franchises. That's an interesting angle. Yeah, we'll save that because that's interesting. It's an interesting angle. All leads, leads and intelligence tools. I just care about the lead tracking. Okay, full lead tracking for agencies. Marketing for multiple companies, fuel features, accounts. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it would be something like this. I think. I mean, could you just use Monday.com? Okay, cool. Well, okay, so we have the HTML in, but we don't have the CSS. That's it's so goddamn infuriating. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Um, the CSS isn't loading, but the HTML is. That's why it looks so weird. This would be free for at least a year. It's designed to reward developers to help each other. It's just focused on an indie dev where there are community devs, but it's hard to get actual input. I've tried multiple times on Reddit, Discord, ETS. Um, yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, I mean, I'll be pretty brutal here, but it's like, if you can't easily understand to me like the value prop here, um, then like even me, somebody who's like on your side, like isn't gonna buy it. So that means definitely people like that aren't gonna buy it. Um, it's you if you're doing some kind of like reward thing here, um, no, just control F5. Okay, cool. Like there has to be like a real like hard incentive, um, for your thing if you're charging for it. If you want to just make a community for people, then you could just make it free and then potentially charge something, um, on the back end for like maybe like a coaching thing or something like that, and then just make videos, basically like just what I'm doing, and then people can join the Discord on their own, and maybe in the future I'll have some kind of coaching program that I can just sell to them directly. So that's kind of like the long term play there, but I don't understand what your value prop is. So if you can't simply explain to me like your value prop in like two sentences max, and like how it makes somebody money or how it helps them, or um then it's kind of like probably not a problem to be solved, at least not for money. Um like I mean, what you're talking about there is basically just a worse version of what Y Combinator already has for free. And like why would somebody go with you when they could just go to Y Combinator and that's like free? Like they already have a free Discord with incentives like that where they have like weekly raffles and fun stuff like that, and it's free. Because where they're making their money is that they pick the startups that are the most interesting and they invest in them and then, um, push them out. So if that's going to be like your way of doing it, which I don't think you're interested in being a VC, unless you are, then like go for it. Um, that would actually be an interesting newsletter. How to sell your company, how to get your SaaS company sellable, and then just basically, wholesale deals between you and the interested SaaSes. So you act as like a middleman between you and private equity firms. That would be an interesting. That would be an interesting way to do it. Um, it's not something I'm interested in doing, but it's definitely interesting. Um, these images don't look good and they need to be fixed. As in, they need to like look right and be presentable. If you need to remake the images on your own, then just do that. Because it's like I can explain to you the value prop of this in one sentence, which is if you're a painting contractor and you want leads, here's how you get it. And we only charge you per actual lead. So it's guaranteed results. And we're better than Angie's List and Home Advisor and Thumbtack because we only provide exclusive leads and not shared like they do. And we actually properly qualify leads by a 5-step, quiz structure. And we don't tell people if they are picking the wrong option, so that the wrong leads don't pick the right option, so you're getting crap leads. So like I can explain like very easily like the value prop there. And part of that is like I've just been on more sales calls, so it's like easier for me to articulate it. But it's like if you can't, um if you can't do that, and it's like my business is even not that successful. Like I put more money in than I've gotten out. So it's like my business is not very successful at all. So if like you can't even get on like that level, then like you need to like really dial in like something way more specific. Um, if you're going to be selling coaching, you need to have some kind of proof associated with that, which is part of the goal of doing these streams. Is like in the long run, I want to have proof that like I know how to run an agency and I can do it. Um, so make them a bit bigger and also make sure that they're centered and not squished, specifically the McAfee and Trusty. Also, make sure that all of these are just on the same font with the same text. Don't have like a second line. Remove the powered by digital cert thing. And that's it. So that's my advice. Again, these images still aren't non-squished. Also, there needs to be the same universal padding and all of them need to be centered. The padding needs to be for top, bottom, right, and left. Recreate that first screenshot that I just sent you to be more like the second screenshot where it says why choose contracting finder, don't have the thumbtack part, and then have a list where it says basically the same thing. Get this centered correctly and then move it beneath the find a pro in my area section and make sure it's all centered and padded correctly so it looks good. Okay, styles, prevented padding. All right, stop. Hard reload. Okay, well, now they're just gone, so that's cool. Okay, well, now it's just gone. Yeah, I understand. And I think you're right about the way, from my point of view, it's just a base. I'm not creating this thing for profit. I'm making it as a tool so I can use later for my actual plan. Well, what's your actual plan? Like, what is it supposed to lead into? Like, again, is it like a VC thing? And if you're not creating it for profit or earning, then make it free, like 100% free. And you'll need to route more traffic because, like, a couple Reddit threads here and there. Because, like, a couple Reddit threads here and there are not enough. You need, like, ads. You need to pay for ads, pony up money for ads if, like, it's a thing that you really think is a good idea. Or make organic content. Organic content is probably better in a situation like this. Probably. Yeah, I would say so. You just got to make videos about why it's a good idea and like what you're doing and how people can join. And if you make enough of them, like you'll probably get like a couple hundred people in. If you make like 30 like good videos, and they get like, I don't know, 1,000 views each, which is pretty realistic. Why choose contracting finder? Converted the 5 benefit cards to a bullet list. Right, image painting contractor.jpg. Keep your element top shaped and then it'll be stressful. Okay. Now find. Okay. Hard reload. Remove most of this white space above that line there and before find a pro in my area button. So when somebody first loads into the page, they can see the join 1,000 homeowners who found painters this month and the full thing. And I would probably actually include it in the hero section itself. Yeah, I mean, the thing about organic is that you have to frame it. Yeah, you don't have any videos on your channel. You got to frame it in a way. So this should be like a 2-section thing where all of the list is formatted on the left and then the image is on the right. Interior stock image. Okay, I already have that one. God damn, I've been getting so many spam calls, dude. I've gotten literally like 20 today. It's insane. It's just like they're just piling on. It's wild. For organic, you really got to like prove that you like are walking the walk, basically. So there's got to be like clear evidence that like you can, you can do it, like that kind of thing. Oh. Yeah, I want it for the kitchen instead. Home kitchen repainting stock image. I'm more of a business guy. Yeah, same. So it's like, yeah, I am not a coder by trade. I will never claim to be. That's why I'm vibe coding, and I can't actually, like, I can code a 2 + 2 = 4. Like, I'm pretty confident I can do that, and like I know that I understand enough that if like really needed, like I could figure it out in theory. Um, okay. Add file. Okay, I guess just like don't, whatever. Um, what the fuck? Why did it go back? We were there, my guy. Okay. Uh, hard reload. Oh, god damn it. Make sure that the section that's in the second screenshot is actually like the first screenshot. It's showing me two different on two different browsers no matter how many times I hard reload. So just make sure that it's right. Mama, we all go to hell. So this is the image for a kitchen repaint. Which one is this one? Okay. Copy. Stop. It's fucking app. Copy path. God damn it. Okay. It's Shift Alt C. This is the image for the exterior repaint. What was it again? Shift Alt C. Shift Alt C. And this is the image for the home interior paint. Review the screenshot, specifically the first screenshot that I sent you, and turn the section that is the second screenshot more into a version that looks more like the first screenshot. So the first thing shown will be the interior paint with the same copy, except it just says average price on the bottom like it does in the second screenshot. God damn it. I have not included that yet. Contractor finder, top home. And then rematch every single one of the three sections to the images that I sent you. So the kitchen repaint image goes to the kitchen paint and etc. Make sure to format them all in the same way and crop them individually for it in the same way that the example screenshot shows. Okay, cool. Main thing for me is distribution and network. My first product is a step towards this. Yeah, I see that. I mean, if you want to start small, I think that's fine. My advice and what I'm personally doing is I would rather build something more. I would rather build something with revenue, and the reason, well, like with money, like something that like makes money in a way or another, because like that's the thing that people really care about, and you're not gonna get a lot of people. It will be easier if you put like the horse before the cart, basically. If you prove that you can build something that does make a lot of money, it'll be a lot easier to then build a networking system from that than it will be if you do it the opposite way, if that makes sense. Just get rid of this section. Okay, that looks a lot better. Except... have this copy say, for the average price for each one of the sections, the following. Interior painting, average price $350 per room. Kitchen repaint, average price $1,500. Exterior repaint, $5,000. And then highlight them orange. For any one of these buttons, whenever it's pressed, scroll back up to the hero section. This copy sucks. Write a better version and replace it. No. Maybe make a new agent. Only for the desktop version, get rid of the image here on the campaign disclaimer. And then move the campaign finder disclaimer to the footer itself. And don't have the padding centered with the hero section anymore. But still make sure that it's padded about the same as the section above that's saying keeping your home in top shape. Change this to a button. So it says search paint pros near you. And it's a button like the one that above that automatically scrolls to the hero section. Okay. Cool. Cool. This is one thing about I hate about web dev is that it takes a while for changes to be pushed because I'm not hosting it locally and I'm just pushing directly Go on through the site yourself and see if you can find any padding errors that need to be fixed. Scrolling through, I can see that the section with the pricing, the sizing was correct, but it isn't correct anymore. The join 1,000 homeowners, that padding should probably be increased on the top, but significantly decreased on the bottom. The get affordable quotes, padding on the top should also be decreased. Go through and find any changes like that and fix them. Where do you host your website? Hostinger. It's just shared hosting. Um, it's just a shared hosting plan. I really need to stop being a lazy shit, and I need to, while it's editing, host it locally and then push it with like Git or something. I just like that's a problem that's going to take like half an hour to figure out, and like I don't know. I just it's just annoying, and I just don't want to do it. I really should probably switch the hosting to like a web-based VPS instead. Okay. Because it's like, you know, here's like the weird part is like on this version here there's different things. So like if we scroll down you can see like this version says something like this, and then this version on my web browser has a different version of this. So like what the fuck, you know, like which one am I supposed to accept? Which one is right, if any? It's like I don't know which one of these is like right, if any of them. I don't know. Maybe I can. Okay, well now we're back to this issue where whenever I load Contracting Finder, it goes to WordPress. I just loaded Contracting Finder on an incognito browser that has no cache loaded, and it took me to this page again. Again, the default page should be the desktop page, and only if you're on mobile then it sends you to the mobile one. Whisper? God damn it. There it is. I need to take a shower and eat some lunch. This section here is still not formatted correctly. All three of the sections here should be centered and aligned with the site itself and small enough so that they're all visible with padding at the far left and far right side. The button in the first screenshot should pretty much be exactly like the button in the second screenshot. Also, whenever I click either of these buttons, they don't automatically scroll me back up to the hero section. split the color. In the hero section, specifically at the part in the first screenshot, like the one in the second screenshot. Yeah, I mean, I would absolutely make content like me. I've already met some pretty interesting people. Do you currently work somewhere? Yep, this is my full-time job. I'm doing this all the time. Um, this is basically, yeah, this is basically all I do. Is I'm just working on building this out. I've made a decent amount of money in in affiliate marketing, specifically like organic. This section is still not set up correctly. It should be 3 that are all fully visible, that are definitely way smaller than this. Like I said, you need to crop these images on your own so that they fit properly. Maybe I should have just done this in WordPress. I always pick the harder option because it seems more fun. Then in hindsight, it's not, because I can't properly communicate to Cursor how I want it done. Has a hard time figuring it out. Really, how'd you do that affiliate? I basically just made videos that was like, hey, link, and you'll get free money, and then I got free money too. It was basically just all like that. I had a couple videos about like Temu. I had videos about I got like sponsored a couple times, so there's like sponsorships deals that I made. I made some money making videos about like college debt, like tuitions, and I made like $1,000 in the last like 2-3 months from just like commissions on that end. I'm just looking to make a more like active business. I just want like more of a real business that's like active. That's not kind of just like a side hustle. I thought about like a bunch of different possibilities. I could have like, you know, made a course on how to do it and then sold the course. I don't know. I just didn't. I just wanted to make like a real business. It's kind of long and short of it. Move the join 1,000 homeowners who found painters, the whole section, including the rating, to beneath the find a pro in my area button. So it's still in that white text area, and then cut out the majority of the padding between that sort of box there and then the top painting projects box. There we go. Thank God. I think we're getting closer though. I definitely like how it looks now. Okay, cool. I mean, that's kind of all the details, dude. Is I just made YouTube videos about like referral programs, and I just made money from that. If you're not doing well fiscally, then you shouldn't be. Oops. Then you shouldn't be bothering trying what you're doing. You should be like, I mean, if you know how to code, just grind something out technical or go get a job. It's like if you got no money, then like, I mean, I worked as a pricing consultant for years before I ever got any kind of side hustle thing going. Um, I worked as a janitor. I worked as a special ed teacher. I worked as a sub teacher. I worked as a videographer. Like, if you're having a hard time fiscally, like, just go get a job. Like, that's kind of the best advice, because the thing about business is that you work for pennies on the dollar until you don't, but it takes years. It takes years until like you're not working for pennies on the dollar. So if you're struggling fiscally, it makes like way more sense just to go get a job. It just this is something I there's a YouTuber I watch called Doc Jade, and he makes really great Factorio videos. And this is something he talked about, which is for the amount of work I put into YouTube, which I was working 8 to 12 hours a day per month, I would consistently make $7 an hour. And in my local area, if I just went to and worked at McDonald's, I would make 4 times that. But like that's the trade-off that you make when you do this shit, is that you work way harder for way longer for no benefit, like for nothing. And actually, most of the time, you spend money. That's what people don't talk about, is that business is negative for a significant part of time. So like even when I was starting to do affiliate stuff, I put my last $600 into this camera, and if I didn't make it work, it would have been over. Like and not like over as in like I would have been like on the street, like kind of thing. like and then from there, like it's basically nearly impossible to figure it out. And you're gonna have a way harder time. So I mean, like realistically, you should get a job and then use any excess money to fund your business. Um, yeah, go full page. This is what I was looking for. Yeah, I mean, I would just go work anywhere. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, just, I mean, ideally, if you could go work in a position where, like, even when I worked as a pricing consultant, that was fantastic. Um, that really helped me. This is a full screenshot of our current site. There might be a caching error going on here, but make sure that all of the recent changes that we have made and go through all the chat and make sure that it's the most recent versions are actually how the code reflects, and that this is not how the code actually is. It's like, you know, I'm paying for Cursor, right? They don't talk about that. I'm paying for D7 Leads Finder. I'm paying for this. I'm paying for that. And it's like, I've been down money ever since I've started this business. And it's like noticeable. And if I just kept going along the same path, I probably would be in a better financial position than I am right now. And it's not like I'm in a bad financial position. Like, I'm making like 5K a month passively that requires like no effort, which is nice. And that, like, you know, pays my rent, pays my insurance, pays all the basics. But like, you know, it is kind of a big deal. It's like I've been going down money. Like, I've had a savings of like 35K, and it's like gone down to like 27 just in the last like 6 months because I'm not grinding on the thing. And when I was grinding on it, and I spent like most of last year just grinding out affiliate and basically doing all I could with it, I was up to like 15K a month. And I was making like 3 to 5 videos a day, and I was just like cranking. And that was me at my peak, but it's like I couldn't really figure out a way to go past that. And I tried a lot of things. I tried hiring UGC creators. I tried AI creators. I tried making new channels and just using like a different persona. The thing about like organic affiliate marketing like that is that there is literally just a maximum number of people. Like, there is a firm cap. And there's a firm cap in every business, but in a business like that that's especially like low barrier to entry, like, there is just a firm cap. And also, like, what I was using, which is YouTube, like, YouTube is not going to give everything to one person. It's just not. Like, YouTube really wants to incentivize like creating as many people as possible. But it's like, there was a firm limit. There was just a hard limit, and I couldn't get past it. And I tried. I really, really did try. I spent like 6 months doing everything I could. It just didn't work. And that's okay. Not everything can work like that. So I'm just moving on to an opportunity that's bigger, which is, there's a lot more old men painters out there with deep pockets who want to grow their business and want to get bigger. And that's just part of it. They just want to do that. Yeah, I gotta close out of this again. It's incredibly annoying. Yeah, let's close out of that. Connect via SSH. Hosting or shared. But it's also like, oops. So it's just like a lot of stuff like that, that, you know, business YouTube doesn't really tell you, that I found out sort of the hard way. All right. Have a good sleep, boss. It was nice. It was nice chatting with you. Is it public HTML? I think I need to get off here and go take a shower. Yeah, I think I'm going to bounce off. I'm going to do that and take a shower, and I'm going to go get some